Welcome back. This morning we're here with Christa Weber from Discovery Playhouse here in Cape Girardeau, and it sounds like we're going to be doing a fun little experiment today. So what have you brought with you?
Well, it's more of a hands-on learning opportunity for kids at home. So this is pumpkin pie Play-Doh, no bake. So I'm going to let you have a smell of this. It smells just like fall.
Oh, that smells amazing. I feel like I would eat that.
Well, and you can. It's edible, but it doesn't taste good.
Okay, then we don't need to eat it.
Because I had my children try last night. They're like, no, that's not for us. So anyway, I brought some already made, but I was just going to kind of show how we make it.
Yeah, of course.
I think the biggest thing with any type of baking at home with kids is there's so much learning that can go into it, measuring and the language that goes behind it. So I think it's just so important for kids to be in the kitchen with their parents. So
definitely.
The first thing is a half a box of spice cake mix. Now I did a half a box because I did the other half last night to practice. I do this every time with my kids.
This is fun.
So you can smell that. It's just got this at Walmart for like $1. And then to that we add a half a cup of flour. Now I'm not going to add all of this at once because what happens is it gets kind of sticky at first. So we're going to have to add as we go, and I brought extra just in case. It also calls for this half order like I'm doing, a fourth a cup of salt. Dump it in the bowl.
Yeah.
And of course, this is another main ingredient. So not only do you smell the spice cake, this is a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice.
That's what you really smell in that.
So you can smell that.
Oh yeah, that's the pumpkin pie.
Dump it in. Okay, so to that then we add 1/4 cup of water. Now, I brought extra because I thought, sometimes we need to add a little bit as we get stirring. I tried to convince my kids to come on the news with me this morning, but they wouldn't do it.
They weren't having it?
No. Too busy with all the things, so I'm doing this by myself. And then, of course, to add a little more orange. So we made it this color. It's going to kind of look brown as we stir. So I'm going to give it a little stir first, and then I'll show you. We're going to add a little food coloring. And it looks like it's going to need a little more water. And then I just add red is pretty strong color, and that's another thing you can teach with kids is when you mix two colors, what color does it become?
Right.
So red and yellow make orange. So then I add a little more yellow than red. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more water, and I'm just eyeballing it.
I feel like this is a type of recipe where you are just kind of eyeballing things.
You are. You can start with the basics, but then you kind of keep going. Now this is where it gets really messy, and I don't know if I'll do this on air, but what you're going to do, keep adding a little water, a little flour as you need it, and you're going to take it out of the bowl and knead it, and that's what really becomes the Play-Doh. Now my hands would be covered, and I don't have a sink. So basically what you'll do is I can see like right now the consistency. You squish it all together, and then you teach the kids how to knead it. You spread flour out. I always like to put something on the island or the countertop so you at least kind of eliminate some of the mess. And it will then, after you knead it, and you might add a little more flour, and you keep squeezing. And that's the thing, too. There's so much sensory behind this. For kiddos that like that sensory input. My daughter could make slime every day of her life if I let her. She likes that sensory input, the smell, the texture. So that's another opportunity you can do with this. But after you knead and you're working through it, it will turn out to be, and there's still some flour mixed in here, but it is truly Play-Doh.
That is so cool.
Yeah, you just get out, cookie cutters, and they can play, and it smells just like pumpkin pie.
I feel like some kids would definitely take a bite out of that because it smells so good, and that's awesome that you can, have homemade Play-Doh. You don't even have to go to the store and get it, and it's fall themed. It's perfect for this time of the year, and it's super easy. And I love the fact that it's all about like getting the kids involved.
It is. It's hands-on learning, and that's what we believe at Discovery Playhouse is kids learn best through hands-on play-based experiences. And I think about so much of our lives as a mom. I'm a mom of 3 daughters. Is we get home and we're cooking dinner and we're on social media and we're checking email for work, and you miss all of the learning that happens just in a 5-minute activity at your kitchen table or island. So I've always been a firm believer of cooking with your kids because of all the learning pieces that go with it.
It's so important. Well, this was awesome. We appreciate you coming on and showing us this fun little recipe and a way to really get involved with your kids and help them learn a thing or two in the kitchen. That is super cool. So yeah, definitely check out this recipe, take part in it. Perfect time of the year to do that, even with the weather being kind of rainy. Maybe tonight is the night to do that with your children. Well, we appreciate you coming on this morning. We'll be back in just a bit.